Welcome back, everybody, to the Mountain Morning Show. As I promised, we still have more show to go. And you know, we live in an age where technology is all around us with smartphones, computers, watches. It's just amazing how much technology we have in our lives. And it's important that you know how to be secure with all of that. So right now, I'm going to throw it to Christine Napier, who's learning more about cybersecurity.
Hey, it's my old stomping grounds.
Say hi to Christine.
Hi, Christine.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I grew up in Vernal, Utah.
Oh, did you really? Not that far away then.
Yeah. I went to school in Provo, so yeah.
Oh,
back
nice.
in my old
We'll
area.
have to come visit us when you're in Park City next, or when you're in Vernal, or.
Sure.
This is Christine from Park City Television, and today we're going to talk about Halloween and the holidays as that relates to cybersecurity. So with those holidays coming up, it means plenty of opportunities for cyber criminals to steal your identity and the identity of your children, unfortunately. Joining us today is Mike Slaugh, Executive Director of Financial Crimes Prevention at USAA. Here with some timely tips on how to protect yourself and your identity. And this comes a little over a year after a massive data breach of Equifax exposed the sensitive credit information of 143 million people. So welcome, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
So why do we need to worry about child identity theft?
Well, as the father of 5 kids, I know how vulnerable children can be to this. As adults, we know what to do when our identity is stolen, but a lot of times children don't. They don't even know that it's happening. They don't know why it's happening. And a lot of times they don't even find out that they're the victims of identity theft until they're adults and they're trying to establish credit on their own. And at that point, they have to go back 5, at times 10 years in order to start picking up the pieces. Last year, over 1 million kids were the victims of identity theft, and more than half of those were under the age of 8.
So how can you detect that your identity of your child has been stolen or compromised, and what can you do about it?
Well, you can keep your eye out for those telltale signals of identity theft. If you start receiving mail, specifically credit card applications, that have your child's name on it, that's generally an indication that somebody has opened up a credit profile on their behalf. And so what you want to do is you want to reach out to the credit bureaus and you want to request a free credit report. That will allow you to see what accounts have been opened up on their behalf, and better yet, you can even go to the credit bureaus and open up and request a security freeze be put on their account. That means no accounts can be opened up for them until they're adults.
We had this problem with my daughter when she was 12 and got her first cell phone. She was getting calls from banks, and we found out that someone indeed was trying to use her social security number to open up accounts. So that was a little bit scary. Yeah,
it's something that hits close to home. So, primarily, you got to look at protecting yourself. Protect your personal information. If you've got a piece of paper that has your sensitive information, your child's sensitive information, make sure it's locked up or shred it. A lot of times identity theft is committed by people we know. And then after you protect your personal information, you want to make sure you protect your online accounts by signing up for multi-factor authentication. That's where you take something you know, like a password, and combine it with something you have, like a cell phone, or something you are, like a fingerprint. And this way you add an extra layer of security to your account, and it makes it more difficult for the fraudsters to get in.
So are there any new fraud trends that are happening right now?
Yeah, we're unfortunately seeing a new fraud trend that's affecting the entire industry, and it's targeting consumers. Fraudsters will reach out and call their victims and impersonate an employee from their bank. Usually it's an employee from the fraud department. And in the course of the conversation, they'll get their interest and gain their trust by asking to talk about charges that they didn't make. And at that point in the conversation, they'll ask for sensitive login information like their password or their one-time code. But what the victim doesn't realize at that point is that they're using that information to log into their accounts and steal their identity while they're on the phone with them. It's an industry-wide problem that we're seeing, and at USAA, we will never call you and ask for your login information. That includes your PINs, your passwords, and your one-time codes.
Well, that's probably typical of any financial institution, correct?
I can only speak for USAA and what we will do in that aspect. But if somebody does call you and they claim to be from your bank and they're asking for that sensitive login information, hang up and call your bank back. If they need to talk to you, they'll have a record that they tried to call you.
That's good information. So are there other ways that thieves can steal your identity? And I have to admit, that's the first time I'd heard that a lot of times it's someone who knows you.
Well, yeah, and so what we're seeing is with the holidays around the corner, you'll see a rise in fraudsters trying to take advantage of people who are looking to make a little bit more money. So you'll see a rise in work-at-home scams. And so if you see a work-at-home job that promises a lot of money with a little bit of work, it's probably a scam, and you'll need to watch out and be aware of that.
That's good information. And I feel like it does seem to increase around the holidays. Is that true?
Yeah, it does increase around the holidays because people are looking for more money, more opportunities in order to get through holiday shopping. And so fraudsters oftentimes will target the holiday season as a time when they do when they commit identity theft and credit card fraud.
Where can we get more information about this subject and what you've talked to us today?
Well, if you go online to USAA.com/MFA, you'll find some tips and tricks on how to secure your online accounts from identity theft.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Mike. This is very useful information, and we will definitely put it to good use.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for talking to Park City TV.